Cub, you're here in Dublin for Dublin Fight Night. Tell us, when did you get here and what is your experience of Dublin so far?
I got here on Tuesday, so it's been 2 days, and the first day I was just recovering a little bit from all the flight and everything, and then yesterday I woke up early, had breakfast, took the train down to the city center, went shopping, just kind of hung out by myself, really tried to be a tourist and explore, and then after that I went golfing with some locals here, and that was pretty cool, and then they took me out for dinner and a few pints, so I had a good time.
And your last fight has now put you into title contention, but there's been a lot of Conor McGregor talk surrounding this event. He did mention briefly in the press conference something about bumping into him in an elevator. Can you tell us what he said to you and what your response was?
He just does his normal talking, yeah, we had words, and he tries to make himself look good, but I don't think much of him.
Did he say something, trying to think what he said now, that they brought you over here so that you can see how a real contender looks like or acts? Or
Yeah, and that's what actually happened is he said, oh, you came over here to see what a real contender looks like, and I said all I gotta do is look in the mirror, and then he just laughed, and then we just kept talking.
So what do you think? Obviously he's only had 2 fights in the UFC, this is his third. How do you feel about him being so close to being in title contention now?
Well, he's not. That's the perception that he's created, which is good, it's smart, but he's not close.
What do you think of him, the whole buzz surrounding him? What do you think of how he's made himself get that far so quick?
I think it's impressive. I think a lot of people are starting to learn from the Chael Sonnen, and learn that you can talk your way into things, and really it's what I've learned is you get the fans behind you, things can happen, and me and him have a completely different outlook on our careers, on the people we are. That's why I said I wouldn't beg for a title fight, that just because I believe my fighting does my talking for me, and the fans will speak up for me just because they love the way I fight. They love what I do in there. I don't need to run my mouth, and he's done the opposite. He's created this. He spends so much energy creating this persona and creating hype, and that's good for him. I'm just not a fan of him being a little disrespectful.
Obviously he's facing Brandao now. You've been with Brandao in Jackson's before. I think we could definitely see Brandao was getting a little bit emotional about, obviously Conor has a lot to say. What are your predictions for the fight on Saturday, and what do you think about Brandao? It maybe getting to Brandao a little bit?
He's calm. He's been smiling, and so that scares me. That he's a scary dude. Diego's a scary dude, but his worst enemy has been himself, and that was my issue, when I was having my ups and downs. I think the biggest key for Brandao is to really, to stay focused and just, know how to win the fight. I think if he gets too emotional, it's gonna be worse for him. So I think that's a fair assessment. But Diego, when he's got his head right, he's a dangerous guy.
Recently there was an interview where you didn't want to mention Conor when you were asked. Why was that?
When I what?
You were asked about Conor McGregor.
Because I was a little bit upset when the media tries to do that. They're asking me about another fight that's not even in my realm when I had a fight in front of me. I wanted to talk about my fight, and I had a big fight that meant way more than Conor McGregor. the bottom line is me and my last fight were up here and he's down here. So why would I even talk about that? I'm talking about it now because I'm here in London. He's the main event. It's relevant. Back then it wasn't.
Is it annoying for you? Obviously coming over here and you're going to be hearing it the whole time that you're here about you and Conor. Is that annoying or?
No, because if I wouldn't have came if I wasn't ready for it. You know what I mean? But I know it's funny because like I said, it's all perception. This is all media because I've been walking the streets. I've been mingling with people and I'd say it's 50-50. A lot of people here hate him. A lot of people hate him. They think he talks, and then a lot of people love him. So, like I said, it's the perception that people have of him because of the picture that he's painting, and the media picks it up. So, I'm glad I'm able to come out here and just mingle with the fans because I know I have fans here, and I didn't want to rob those fans of me not coming because I didn't want to talk about it. He's a part of the division. It's relevant right now, so I got no problems.
So if the UFC called you in a couple of months' time and said, hey, we want to put you up against Conor McGregor in, say, like 2 to 3 months, how do you think that fight would unfold?
It would be the easiest fight of my UFC career. It's like I get paid the same. We have set contracts. So I get paid the same. You're gonna like Jeremy Stephens is a tough dude. You're going to tell me you're going to pay me the same amount of money to fight him and Conor? Like, come on now. Conor is an easy fight. It's easy money. He's talented. Not trying to talk crap. He's talented. But he's just, he's not in our league yet. He doesn't belong anywhere near the top 10.
So the Jose Aldo and Chad Mendes fight obviously has been delayed. What's your prediction for that fight?
That's a tough one. I think the easy call is Aldo. He's beat him before. He's beat everybody. But I think that Mendes is a lot better than the last time. I think he's strung together a lot of wins. I think he's got what it takes. I think the biggest thing is Mendes needs to believe in himself and not worry about getting knocked out. I think if he worries about getting knocked out, it'll happen. So I think he's capable. He has the tools to win. But if I would bet money, it'd be on Aldo.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you to sum up some fighters' names. I'm gonna call out some fighters' names. I just want you to sum up in one word what you think of them, or any word that comes to mind when I say in one word. So the most obvious, Conor McGregor.
Clown.
Jose Aldo.
Champion.
Chad Mendes.
It's hard to say in one word.
Or maybe 2 words, if that helps.
Call him an amazing wrestler.
Ricardo Lamas.
Underestimated.
Diego Brandao.
An emotional killer.
Okay, that's a nice one. I also wanted to ask you about the what you thought on the whole Chael Sonnen drugs testing situation at the moment.
I think it's unfortunate for the sport. He was somebody that people really loved, and I really liked him as a commentator and doing all that stuff. I think his personality was good for the sport, but I think it's unfortunate, and I think when he got caught doing stuff, and unfortunately he has to pay for it.
What do you think his future is with the UFC?
I think I see him coming back. I think people love him too much. I think they'll forgive him. I think he's just being punished right now. And I think he should. I think when you do stuff that you're not supposed to do, you should be punished. I feel like no matter who you are, that everyone should be punished the same. But I definitely see him coming back. I think people love him too much.
What do you think about the whole drugs testing in MMA in general?
I think it's good for the sport. And the reason being is because people are getting stronger, and they're going to be, you know, knocking people out. And just like in football with all the concussions, I don't want that to be something that's gonna, you know, taint our sport down the road because of, you know, guys that were taking stuff, you know, or doing damage, physical damage to people, you know, and I thought it's not fair.
And finally, when are you flying back home?
I go home Sunday. I've been debating staying longer.
Would you stay longer?
I've been thinking about it, but originally my manager was supposed to come out here and he canceled on me. So, you know, to stay out here all alone, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
And are you looking forward to the fight on Saturday?
Yeah. And really, I've gone to, you know, this will be my third event here in Europe, and the fans are just wild. And to me, that's like the biggest thing is how wild the fans are. And not like crazy getting into fights, just like how loud do they cheer, you know? Can you feel that emotion in the air? And that's like my favorite thing about watching it live, because honestly, if you could get a better view from home on TV. But why do you go to a live event? Because the energy in the crowd. I know that in the main event, when the two fighters walk out, it's going to be crazy. And for me, as a fan, to be able to sit there up close and kind of look around at the stadium and go, all right, this is cool. People would kill to be in my shoes for this. I enjoy that.
Thanks for taking the time out to talk to us. Thank you.
I appreciate it.